first thing I realized when I moved to Boston about 7 years ago was parking is awful. And I think anyone can relate with me whenever they either go around the block, maybe 5 or 6 times, and then they finally give in and pull out their wallet, spend $30, $40 on a garage space, and then as they're walking to wherever they're going, they see either an alley behind the building or maybe a driveway spot that's sitting completely empty. That's where Spot comes in. So we all know what the parking problem is. The reason that options are so limited is because there's really only 2 options. We have meters, which are not only elusive, but hard to find for a variety of reasons. Number 1 is too cheap. Number 2 is there's not enough of them. So in Boston alone, there's roughly 8,000 meters. There's 190,000 cars that come into the city every single day. So there's just no chance that we have any ability to find a spot in an efficient manner. So we have the other side of the equation, expensive garages. Newbury Street is a really good example of this. It's roughly 3 or 4 garages on Newbury Street with about 700 to 800 spots. Those go for anywhere from $36 to $42 for 2 hours. Not everyone can afford that. So what we've done is we've uncovered the inventory that is sitting empty, not only throughout the day, but also at night. So you can see here that, yes, there's absolutely inventory there, it just hasn't been uncovered. So we tap into this untapped inventory by allowing individuals to rent out their own parking spots by the half hour, hour, day, month, week, whatever their availability stands for. So again, this is Newbury Street, if you guys are familiar with that. Oftentimes impossible to find parking on the street, as I just said, but behind the buildings, all these spots are empty throughout the day. There's 50,000 private parking spots in Boston, and oftentimes they're going underutilized. So, as I just mentioned, an individual is able to upload their parking spot very simply on our app. We have an iOS app that we launched about 7 months ago. It takes about 90 seconds to upload a parking spot. Again, it goes on your availability. So if you're only gone for a half hour, put your spot on there for a half hour and earn some money off of it. We liken ourselves to Airbnb for parking. What we're trying to do here, similar to what Airbnb has done with hotels, we're trying to build the world's largest parking garage without the real estate investment. And a few different ways that we've kind of fallen into going after the consumer, we've uncovered another part of the equation which is really interesting, which is the business side of things. Comcast, for example, had $10 million in tickets last year, just in Boston. It's because they tell their drivers, go out, make the call, get the ticket, we'll handle it at the end of the year. There's an opportunity here to use our parking spots, which we have a little over 600 just in Boston, to allow them to park for 5-10 minutes at a time, eliminate that $10 million in parking fines, and again, it's making it a little more efficient as the business moves on. The other side of the equation, again, is the inventory side. So we have Whole Foods on our platform. We have Burger Kings on our platform, CVS's, where during business hours, it makes a lot of sense. They need parking. What about when it closes at 9 o'clock? Their empty lots are just sitting there waiting for people to fill them up, but they don't know how to monetize them. Again, that's where we come in and we can help them create a revenue stream off of something they never even knew they could. The product is really, really simple. It takes about 10 to 15 seconds to book a parking spot. After you find a parking spot you like, by the way, we're always 60 to 70% cheaper than garages. Once you find a parking spot you like, you click that little green button. We provide you navigation, GPS coordinates, down to 5 to 10 meters of the spot with pictures as well, and we allow you to communicate with the owner of the parking spot should you need to. After you're done, go back to your car. That's it. We send you push notifications, text messages that allow you to say, hey, I need the spot for 5-10 more minutes. You can book extra, or you can say, okay, I need it for another day. Whatever you need the spot for, we allow you to do that through the app. I'll show you a really quick video just to show you how it works. It's about 30 seconds. By the way we make money is we take 20% out of every transaction, similar to the way Airbnb does as well. we have people in different neighborhoods making a good amount of money off their parking spots every day. So this gives you a little bit of a price calculator to see how much your spot is worth. But we also have a means to show you how this actually works. For example, a guy in Southie last year, just in the wintertime, made $1,400 off of his empty parking spot. Again, same thing with Jacob. I think having a live demo here sometimes brings some difficulty into the equation. Okay. You know what? I'll allow you guys to go on your own. Parkeasier.com. Again, really easy to use. Download the app from the website or search for us at Spot Park Easier in the App Store. Again, really happy to be here. Thanks again. Any questions?
So one of the issues I'm really afraid of is more the quality. Like, how do you do customer service?
Sure. The question was about customer service and quality of the parking spots and the experience, I'm assuming. So we validate and verify every parking spot that comes onto the platform. We have a team in the office that makes sure that the parking spot is the person that actually uploaded it. But beyond that, we have a customer support team that we're actually one of the few apps that has an 800 number should anything go wrong. We've booked over 70,000 hours of parking just in Boston. We've never had to tow anyone. So it is a bit self-regulated, knowing that it's someone else's property that you're using. We have a rating system on both sides. So again, it's kind of like Uber effect in that scenario where there's the self-regulation factor, but very few factors do come into like the problematic pieces, which is finding the spot, where we use GPS coordinates in order to do that, and then pictures to hone in on where exactly to park with markers. Middle?
If someone is parked in the spot too long, I kick them out.
Another good question. If someone's parked in the spot for too long, how do we get them out? Again, we haven't had to tow anyone. The nice piece about our app is there's a messaging function that you can talk between the owner and renter and owner, and owner, renter, and us. So if anything does happen, we're the first to know about it. Having said that, you get a text message 15 minutes before every rental ends. So you know either, shoot, I need to get back to the car really quickly, or I'll extend the rental, which is on the same page, and you can extend it again for a half hour at a time should you need to.
Who get partnered with financial transactions?
I'm sorry?
Who get partnered with to manage the financial transactions?
We use Braintree. He asked about the financial piece of it, who we're using for the paper processing. And Braintree is used by Uber, Airbnb, etc.
So how many cities you expect this program to, and what's the difference between like from one city to another city?
Really good
like
question.
Different
So
people you encounter.
Sure. He asked about scalability and how difficult this is to scale. That's actually a really big defensibility factor for us. It is really hard to get inventory of parking spots. We've been around for about 12 months now, and the procurement of parking spots is obviously our first item. That's the X factor. Boston is actually one of the tougher cities to get parking spots in. Boston's actually quite emotional with parking. That plays well for us, though. If we're making it easier on a day-to-day basis, then we become valuable. We're going into 7 other cities by the end of next year, Chicago being the first one. Chicago's actually 4 times the size of Boston's parking market. There's about 150,000 private parking spots in Chicago. And if you think about how Chicago is built, it's on a grid system. So behind every single building, there's private parking that's not being utilized. Same thing with LA. So Boston was actually a perfect test launch city for us because we saw how intricate each piece of real estate was. And we kind of learned from that, saw what to do, what not to do, and ultimately will allow us to scale a little quicker.
So could you put a cone in front of your apartment building and sell that spot on a public road?
Really good question. He asked if you could use the public streets to sell your spot.
Last question.
Unfortunately, we cannot do that. A company called Haystack came in last year, attempted to do that, and the city shut them down in about 3 weeks. We only allow private deeded property to be placed on our app. Thank you again. Really appreciate it.